Thank you. I'm going to start with the disclaimer that this is going to be slightly longer than 60 seconds, but here it goes. Dear Mr. Rogers, I don't have a lot of time, so I'll get straight to the point. As a child in the late 60s and 1970s, growing up in an all-white, middle-class bedroom community in Southern California, your show, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, was my favorite. It wasn't so much about the content or even particular episodes as it was, and still is, the song. I have always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. I've always wanted to live in a neighborhood with you. Imagine my surprise to see you, a middle-aged white man, singing to me. The neighborhood you sang about was one that I dreamed of, one where my African-American mother and I would be warmly welcomed, where we would belong. Don't get me wrong, nothing really bad ever happened to us there, but I also never quite felt like I fit in, really fit in. Still, there were the occasional racial slurs and lowered expectations, and these left me on edge, waiting for that next isolated incident. My life there and your inspiration fundamentally shaped the way that I think about neighborhoods. In fact, they are something of an obsession. You see, I watched your show religiously just to hear that song, hoping that someday, somehow, I would see the day when your neighborhood, the one I imagined at least, was a reality not just for me, but for our country as a whole. Unfortunately, I don't see this happening in my lifetime, or even in the lifetimes of my two young daughters, now 6 and 2. As we become increasingly diverse racially and ethnically, we have remained residentially segregated along racial and ethnic lines. This has always been true for African Americans, but it's increasingly true for Latinos as well. Our schools have also resegregated along racial and ethnic lines. This lack of cross-cultural contact makes it highly unlikely that we will all be getting along anytime soon. In fact, at the rate we're going, Mr. Rogers, it will take 150 years to achieve true racial residential integration. I wish people understood that neighborhood racial integration isn't just about learning to get along and be friendly with one another. It's essential for equality of opportunity and access. Where we live shapes all of our life chances, and segregation leaves blacks and Latinos at much higher risk for hard lives filled with poverty, ill health, exposure to crime, and schools ill-equipped to provide even the most basic education. These neighborhoods, I'm afraid, look nothing like yours did. And you guessed it, this just feeds into all of whites' negative stereotypes about blacks and Latinos and the resentment that many blacks and Latinos feel toward middle-class and affluent whites. After more than a decade of research, Mr. Rogers, I'm afraid that prejudice and discrimination, not ethnocentrism, are the attitudes that drive where we prefer to live. For blacks and Latinos, fear of white hostility reigns supreme. In all of this, we've somehow forgotten the obvious. We all want the same things for ourselves and our families. Safe neighborhoods filled with a sense of community and acceptance, a place where children attend high-quality neighborhood schools filled with teachers who care about them and play with friends at local parks that are clean and well-lit with safe playgrounds and effective supervision. Neighborhoods like yours, Mr. Rogers. Integrating our neighborhoods is the best shot we have at eradicating economic inequality, something that is important to us all. Trouble is, it seems that others of my generation may have watched your show, but they failed to realize that you were singing to them too. Thank you.